What is up, guys? Pie Muffin here, and we are back with some more Trails Through Daybreak 2. Last time we handled the rest of the 4 SPGs we needed to handle for the time being, so now it is time to get to work and head, for the first time, to the Trion Tower area. Also an area we weren't able to go in the first game. 11:05 a.m. Actually, did we go here during the prologue? We might have.
遠くでしか見たことはなかったが、近くで見ると思った以上に壮観だな。
オルキスタワーの方がかっこよくないと思っていたなあちゃんだったけど、これは評価を改める必要があるかも。
Keep in mind that Crossbell's Orcus Tower serves a very different purpose from Trion Tower. It wouldn't be fair to judge them by the same metrics. Yeah, names aside, Orcus Tower is more of a skyscraper. Trion Tower, on the other hand, is better described as a general infrastructure. It acts as a relay transmitter for broadcasting orbital waves throughout Edith. And that's only one of the various roles it fulfills. Managing all of Edith's network comms probably has been the biggest one these last few years. Hold on, something doesn't add up here. Trion Tower was designed by Professor Epstein, right? And that was 50 years ago, just after the Orbital Revolution. Correct. It was initially built as a clock tower, complete with meteorological instruments. About 20 years later, they installed a radio facility. It took another 2 decades before they implemented support for all manner of orbital communication waves. But the tower's overall shape and frame are basically unchanged, which implies Professor Epstein saw modern orbital networking coming a whole half-century before it was invented. That's rather far-fetched, though. Yeah, I mean, there's obviously more to this here. Though it's a little frightening how I can't actually refute you. Pretty flaky of the guy to leave all these crazy predictions and inventions behind. It's definitely not impossible, though. Who cares about all that mumbo-jumbo anyway, as she was just thinking about it. This is the perfect chance to take in all the sights. Come on, S, what should we hit up first? Do we look like tourists to you? For making the rounds, covering the establishments around the mall would be a good start. As far as views go, the most impressive one here can be found on the tower's observation deck. That being the case, what do you say we save the best for last? Now you're talking. Good thing we have a local to give us the inside scoop, huh? Are you sure about this? We're still on the job here. This is the route we'd have to take on our investigation anyway. Besides, there's no harm in mixing business with pleasure a bit on your first day in the capital. I imagine you haven't had much of a chance to enjoy the city outside of your 4 SPGs. Wow, if Beauty's Blade had a third B, it'd stand for big-hearted. No wonder everyone looks up to you. Yeah, you're almost nothing like Van said you'd be. Oh no. And what exactly did Van say I would be? Crap. Open mouth, insert foot. Oh, you know, scary, demanding, the kind of lady we should watch our step around. Hey, why'd you go and tell her all that? Because I'm an ally to scorn beauties all over the world. Since when? Well, that's enlightening. I'm sure Van was only playing it up for laughs. Oh, no need to defend the man. He can do so himself in person. Now then, shall we be off? I'll lead the way. Who knew smiles could be that scary? Oh god, that's funny. A maiden's heart can be like a maze of landmines. Better start taking notes, S. As if you'd ever get mad at Swin for anything. Well, we have a lot of locations to cover. But first, let's go to the movie theater. Well, I guess let's check R&M.
どうぞご覧になってくださいませ。お気に召したなら幸いですわ。
movie theater over here.
作品のグッズを販売中です。
Look at all the food.
の記念にいかがでしょうか。
Tacos, churros, muffins, sandwiches. That's mostly it.
本日はご来館ありがとうございます。
さあさあ、ぜひ見ていってくれ。
まもなく一番スクリーンを開場いたします。
Sure.
マナーをお守りの上、ごゆっくりお楽しみくださいませ。
Same thing, like I said before, I won't read out the movie, so if you are watching, I would look at the text on the screen since there is a lot of it. Green Hill High School Basketball Club. Sonic? Nina.
チームだって？俺以外点を取れるやつはいねえのにか。いいか、後半戦もてめえらはボールを持つな。次こそ俺があいつらを見返してやるよ。
違う、そうじゃないでしょ。エヴァンはまだ分かってないのよ。本物のバスケってやつをね。
みんないるな。今コーチに相談してきたんだが、頼む、一つわがままを聞いてくれないか。次の後半戦、俺を出してくれ。やっぱり抜け出せねえ。
Look at them go.
パスは出せそうだが、どうせ
I
誰も
say is it's a still picture.
諦めるな。エヴァン、下手の横好きな俺だからこそわかるよ。お前は人一倍バスケと真剣に向き合ってる。だから見せてやろうぜ。俺たちの情熱はこんなもんじゃ燃え尽きないってな。あいつ役立たずのくせしてバカみたいに必死な顔しやがって。だが面白いじゃねえか。俺を信じさせてみろ、ハリル。
いける、決めるのよハリル。エヴァン。
Wow, that was awesome. I love me a good coming of age story. Basketball seems like it'd be pretty fun. My alma mater, Aramis Academy, had a basketball team too. Back then, our team was good enough to make nationals, and here the talent of the current roster is nothing to scoff at. That's the school Agnes goes to, right? Didn't Van graduate from there as well? Well, he did attend Aramis, but in truth, he dropped out partway through. Ooh, do tell, why don't you spill the tea? Why don't you spill the tea about that and your little romantic escapades with him? I'm dying to know more. I'm choosing not to grace that with a response. Right, I forgot they sell brochures for the films here. Perhaps I should buy one for Van. Aww! They aren't showing this movie outside of Edith yet, after all. Sweet of her to think of him. Alright, well that takes care of that. Another movie handled. tour guide?
トリオンモールへようこそ。首都のランドマークトリオンタワーをはじめ、ファストファッションからベルヌス
あ、ミッシーだ。
各種アンテナショップも目白押し。
やれやれね。
早くも
Don't be fooled.
のキーフォンもベルヌス
That's not the real Mishy.
皆様ぜひ。
Hey, Mishy, over here. It blows my mind how one simple mascot could take both the Empire and Republic by storm. That's no easy feat when you think about it. All of Mishy's brand management in Calvert is handled by Valis Investment Bank. Much of its popularity here can be attributed to their financial might. That being said, what's eating at you? You two are familiar with the original Mishy, correct? Take a closer look if you would. Huh? Compare the Mishy you know to the way this one has been localized for the Calvardian market. Obviously, the most drastic discrepancy is the head-to-body ratio, which is simply done that way, so obviously for coding of the game. But the size of his ears and the pattern on his tail differ subtly as well. Moreover, exaggerating his paws ends up compromising any sense of unity in his design. When added together, these seemingly minute factors have a considerable impact on his overall silhouette. Granted, this Mishy does have his own charms, but I'm disinclined to call him authentic. Well, we got a connoisseur over here. Just let her have this one. This is a Quincy Company store. They're one of the biggest confectioners in Zamuria. Your parents run this biz, right, Blade Lady? Ooh, maybe you can get us some freebies. Read the room, Nadia. From what I remember, the president was arrested last year. Unfortunately, my involvement in the business ended when I took off from home. I'm afraid that means family benefits are out of the question. Aw, man. I can certainly give you my recommendations, though. Why don't we browse around? Huh? Didn't realize she made a clean break from them. I fear the worst after the debacle with Father, but things seem to be recovering for the most part. That's one worry off my mind. Oh, Maxim. Moving on, with another competition just around the corner, where do you draw your inspiration? Ahem, that's a great question. These days, my driving is fueled by love and gratitude. For my car, for my team, and for those out there in the stands, and a few special others who are near and dear to me. I plan on carrying that on in the next race and showcasing my passion for this sport to the world. I see. As a matter of fact, many have been remarking how your recent performances are stronger than ever before. The spirit of love and gratitude must be having a real tangible effect on you. Haha, you may be right about that. It could be because I revised my training methods from the ground up. I've also begun doing research on how to push the pedal to the metal even further. Is that so? Would you mind going into more detail? From what little Van has told me, I think I can guess those near and dear ones are. Something to keep an eye on, I suppose.
いらっしゃいませ。
Quincy pudding.
ありがとうございました。
トリオンモールへようこ
Got some good stuff over here.
そ。ランドマークトリオンタワーをはじめ、ファストファッションからベルヌストア、映画館、各種アンテナショップも目白押し。
Well, what am I supposed to do now? My mirror is as good as gone at this point.
トリオンモールで最高
Gotta hold yourself, Dad. This is no time to call quits. Maybe I could try out that thing people are whispering about. This guy's really monologuing, huh? Can't say I'm not curious, but let's just leave him to it. Might be a 4 SPG in our
リ
future.
ベールアンテナショップ。ここはリベール王国の特産品や記念品を扱っている店よ。
こういう店は初めてだな。あの模型は初代のアルセイユ号か。
Yup, there's the ship.
ニガトマトが大量に。
So, these are all very cool things, you know, you'd find in Libero. But the most interesting thing about this shop is not actually any of the stuff you would buy. It's who's running it. Well, her name is Leela, and for those of you who play the games or who have been just watching my playthrough journey since the beginning, this is the same Leela from Libero, the one who worked as the maid for Mayor Maybell, who we meet very early on in Trails in the Sky first chapter. She is, I mean, obviously here at the moment running the store. Welcome. Our store offers the finest goods produced in the Libero Kingdom. Might I suggest trying the frozen dinners? They're from a high-class restaurant in Bose called Anteros. See, there's a big reference right there. Or perhaps an acerbic tomato would be more to your liking. He also has a figurine of the ZFF airship. I'm sure it's not cheap. It's too much. I'm getting some serious choice paralysis here. Actually, have you got any non-packaged Libero food? I'd be super interested in that. Trying a recipe that's been passed down from generation to generation would give me a taste of what Libero's really like. Nadia, this is a boutique, not a restaurant. Actually, we have been thinking about opening an in-store eatery. Our plan is to hire someone who can prepare and serve fresh Libero cuisine. Oh, really? That sounds nice. We'd very much like you visit us again once we begin that service. Wow, and here I was thinking I'd throw you off your game by pointing out a missed opportunity. Well, it's Leela. She's not going to be thrown off by anything. So, nice little reference there. You just have an NPC that we obviously know very well from the past. Any more blue markers? No, it looks like just the red ones. Robovax.
掃除用ロボットね。トリオンモールで限定的に試験導入されているらしいわ。
They're just here to pick up trash.
一台なあちゃんのゴロゴロライフにはぴったりかも。
You two don't even have a house yet, though. The Verne store. Looks like business is booming. This is one of the Verne Company's retail locations. No wonder you can't go anywhere without hearing that name. Naturally, they sell a variety of ornaments for home use, but in recent times they focused their efforts on bringing Ziffas to general consumers. The all-in-one communication devices found here offer the same specifications with none of the combat functionality. You can even give them an in-store test run before making a purchase. It's basically a smartphone store. Ziffas, huh? Nadia and I use them ourselves. It's impressive how far they've come without the Epstein Foundation's involvement. Feels like they're leaps and bounds ahead of the old Verne versus Reinfort rivalry now. Kind of bittersweet though, call me old school, but I've gotten pretty attached to the Enigma and Arcus units. Oh, those people there. Well, we know Professor Hamilton on the right, and we know the one in the middle, but we'll wait till we get closer. Hey, is that who I think it is? Let's go up and get a closer look. Good idea. We may as well stop in and say hello. The stairwell should be just behind that door. May as well check the shops while we're here. Wait, this is Kaina. She's the one from, what's it called? She was the one from Krail, right? I don't really think I need to... I mean, sure, why not? Different covers for your Ziffas. Okay, this guy does the customization. Won't worry about that for now. Nice view from up here.
丁寧な分析レポート、本当に助かります。シュミット博士にも伝えておきますね。工場殿下もスポンサーの立場からの貴重なご意見をくださって本当にありがたいです。
So obviously Hamilton on the left, and we met, very briefly we met the girl on the right being one of the Elsyme representatives as well.
どうかお願いしますね。
父も兄もこの結果には満足するかと思います。
やっぱりそうだ。
こんなところで会うなんてな。
スーイン君にナーディアちゃん、久しぶりだね。
ハミルトン博士、ハーシェル女子、どうもお久しぶりです。
Well, that gives it away. This is our girl Toa from Thor's military academy, who we obviously haven't seen since Reverie.
こんにちは、エレインさん。
この人が三皇帝の一人、エル・ハミルトン博士が。
というか、そっちも知り合いなんだ。
Toa Herschel.
エレインさんとは私が所属している NGO の案件でお会いして以来ですね。
So obviously after Cold Steel 4 is when Toa would have met Elaine.
ええ、あの時は本当にお世話になりました。そしてこちらの方ははじめまして、オークレール様。そちらのお二人も。
Well, technically her and Vance are at the racetrack, but
エルザイム公国サルマンが一女、ジーター・スバールと申します。今日は多くの出会いに恵まれて嬉しいです。
エルザイムの公女。
シェリド殿下の妹君、先日レース場で拝見させていただきました。
yeah.
こうしてお会いできて光栄です。あの場にいらしたんですね。剣の乙女の噂はかねがね伺っています。兄も何度かお世話になっているそうで。いえ、こちらこそ殿下にはギルドともども多大なるご支援を。
本物のお姫様だ。めっちゃ可愛い。
頼むから粗相はするなよ。
Swin and Nadia, was it? It's clear you're friends of Toa's. But you don't quite seem to be bracers. They aren't. I've temporarily enlisted their help with a request is all. That's right, we just started a new gig in Edith as acting Spriggans. From missing cats to apocalyptic threats, S over here can handle anything. Only him, huh? Thanks for overselling it, and don't act like all the work goes to me. Oh, now I understand. Your Arkwright Solutions interim replacements. I must say, the two of you make quite the distinctive pair. My brother has told me all about Arkwright Solutions, and you're filling in for them? How wonderful. Imagine that. I'm a little surprised to see you two in that line of work. It fell into our laps, more or less. You think you're surprised? What are you doing all this way from Erebonia, Toa? Let me guess, is it the old NGO grind? Yes, it's one I got to help out with after graduating Thor's. The International Cooperative Organization, the ICO. Things are beginning to pick up with them again, and I have some other business to take care of in Calvert anyway. So I made the choice to relocate here at the start of the year. Oh, that checks out. The ICO, huh? Feels like they keep ramping up their visibility more each year. Yes, their group addresses all sorts of international challenges that local governments can't handle on their own. And there's been an increasing trend of those kinds of issues throughout the country recently. Even here in the capital, Miss Herschel has been hard at work in more fields of expertise than I can count. It's difficult to believe her real job is teaching at an Imperial Military Academy. Yep, she's one busy bee, alright. Oh, stop it. I don't do all that much, really. But enough about that. Back to this acting Spriggan business. How riveting. It has an air of something out of a movie or novel. I don't mean to impose, but do you mind telling me about the case you're currently working on? Neither of us have a problem with it. But it's up to our client to decide how hush-hush we have to be. I suppose it wouldn't hurt to share a few details. So Edith has been having orbital network problems. My brother told me everything that happened in Basel last year as well. Things aren't bad enough to be an actual problem yet, but it's sketchy all the same. Would you happen to have any insight, Professor? As a matter of fact, I received a brief report about this courtesy of the Verne Company. Unfortunately, there isn't much I can add at this stage. But at the very least, I have confidence that you're on the right track. Nice, we got the prof's stamp of approval. Even the smallest crack can eventually grow into a chasm. Our lack of foresight with those nuclear devices last year led to tragedy, and what we're seeing now may just be the early signs of something similar. All this to say, I appreciate you investigating the matter. Of course, if there's even a hint of malicious agenda behind this, we'll root it out and nip it in the bud. Spoken like a true bracer. Maybe my hearing's going, but that didn't sound like royal we to me. I'm sure Elaine can manage, but we'll be a royal we. We'll be counting on you two to help her get to the bottom of this. Would that I could offer more than well wishes. Still, I look forward to hearing tales of your exploits. And if there's anything we can do to help, don't hesitate to let us know. Thank you, Professor. We'll just excuse ourselves then. See you later. So Toa is now here in the capital. She's away from Reen and the rest of Class 7. I mean, obviously she's not part of Class 7, so... But obviously she's away from, you know, Crow, Angelica, and George as well. You three do your best out there, okay? I'm here to help too, so don't be afraid to reach out. It is unfortunate. I'll just go ahead and spoil it right here. She is not playable in this game. Obviously, you know, we even saw this during the Cold Steel games. Outside of Cold Steel... Was she playable in 4? I don't think she was. She was playable in Cold Steel 2. And then I believe it was just Reverie. So see, she's always kind of been like an interim, you know, on and off, like, playable character. So she is not playable in this game, unfortunately. Maybe someday it'll happen again, but as of right now, no.
一通り回ったらタワーの方に行きましょう。
I don't think we have anything else to do here, so may as well head to the tower. Oh, speaking of. So, Connect events are only going to be in specific parts of the game. They really aren't. They're not going to be in these split up sections for the simple fact of, you know, obviously no one's here. And the Connect events are always about Van interacting with someone else, so... Obviously not going to happen during these parts. Are you done sightseeing around the tower? Yeah, we've had our fill. Now we've taken a turn around Trion Mall. What are your thoughts? It's got a good vibe for people our age, and there's plenty of family-friendly spots too. Plus, it make a halfway decent date spot. I give it 4 stars. She wasn't asking for a review. Did you already forget why we're here? Who, me? No way. My clue radar just never went off, that's all. I kept an eye on myself, but I didn't notice anything out of the ordinary either. What about you, Swin? Same as you two, nothing special. I see. That just leaves the tower itself, then. As much as I'd like to be all woohoo, let's go. This is the part where we have to start taking things seriously, huh? The observation deck is open to the general public, but any orbital network facilities will be located elsewhere. I should be able to get us permission to investigate on that front. But we may want to see what the staff can tell us first. Makes sense to me. Break a leg, Blade Lady will be waiting right here for you. You aren't coming? Talking things out will probably go a lot smoother without us. Trust me, we'd only get in your way. Well, alright, make yourselves comfortable then. I'll go speak with the relevant employees and circle back. Alone at last. You know what that means, It's time for a dating montage. Let's take a rain check on that. There's something else I'm curious about. The robots? Hey, there you are. Welcome back. You're by yourself? Where's Swin? I sent him on a little errand, but he should be back real soon. Oh, speak of the devil. Hey, S. That was quick. Find anything out? Unfortunately not. I spoke with the security, but no one saw any suspicious persons enter or leave the building. The communication facilities and equipment aren't much different. Nothing unusual has been reported at all during their periodic inspections. So we're fresh out of leads. On the surface, yes. But that may change if we can examine the main control systems directly. That's why I took the liberty of getting us clearance. This is your area of expertise, right, Nadia? You really do your homework, huh? But you know, there is one other thing we can try. There is? You all done, Nadia? Just about. The comparison results should be popping up any second now. Results for what exactly? Operation Robovac Trackdown. I beg your pardon? Are perpetrators among them? They are... probably. I think you've tried her patience enough. Just give it to her straight already. Fine, fine. First, let me redirect your attention to one of the many mecha janitors roaming around us. At the risk of repeating myself, those automated cleaning machines operate exclusively in the 3rd District. They were brought in on a trial basis by the Vallis Investment Bank, one of Trion Tower's biggest sponsors. Right, but we reached out to Toa, who got in touch with Professor Hamilton, and she gave us the Robovac spec sheets plus the source code for their main systems. Just goes to show connections are everything. I'm surprised Professor Hamilton would authorize that. It turns out her offering to help wasn't just to be polite. Yeah, sweet old ladies like her are the best. Wasn't just to be polite? Yeah. Now we just have to use the data to analyze the Robovac's behavioral routines, adjust for the area's cartographic info along with the active unit count and time frame, and presto, a complete map of every Robovac's pathing route. I didn't even realize that was possible. Well, only because we had all the other parameters first. Besides, these calculations tell us where they're supposed to go, not where they actually went. That's where S came in clutch. I went around attaching transmitters to any Robovacs that were nearby. Obviously, there was no way I could get every single one. But lucky for us, they can detect and coordinate with any friends of theirs nearby. As long as there's enough units being tracked, we can get a bead on pretty much all of them. Now, if I take the expected routines from earlier and cross-reference them with the ones on record, would you look at that? Some of them don't line up. Meaning they were hacked? Bingo! There are security checks for people going in and out of Trion Tower, but they have no reason to suspect a cleaning machine they themselves are using. That makes the Robovacs a safe and reliable means of getting close to the tower's control systems. As for why nothing turned up in the inspections, the virus used to infect the network is probably self-destructing. In other words, after it does its thing, it removes any trace that it was ever there. Then, after the inspections are over, the perpetrator hacks a different robot and the cycle starts over. That way, they can exploit part of Trion Tower's control systems to commit their cyber crimes with no one the wiser. The pieces do seem to align. I have to say, I'm impressed you were able to put all this together, Nadia. Though Swin deserves some credit as well for noticing something was off with the Robovacs in the first place. You could tell it was me, and you call us impressive. Yeah, you're pretty quick on the uptake. They wouldn't have made me A rank otherwise. Would you mind walking me through your thought process? Well, if you really want to know, what tipped me off was the strange way some of the Robovacs were behaving. The routes they were taking felt less than optimal from a cleaning perspective. It was like they were trying to avoid being spotted or keeping a low profile in case they couldn't. As someone who's used to staying under the radar, I tend to pick up on this kind of thing. So I see. Incidentally, have you two ever given thought to becoming bracers? Is that an invitation? It is. The guild's always short-staffed. Our branch in Edith is especially in need now that fees returned to Arabonia. And you wouldn't be the first people with a complicated past to register with us. We could just... Let's go in the games we know. Joshua, Fee, Sarah. Surprisingly common, in fact. Well, as tempting as that offer sounds, no way, Jose. The guild burns their members out like a box of matches. And don't get me started on your working hours. I need to save all that room in my planner for back-to-back siestas. Yep, a lazy life of leisure is the only one for me. And there's your answer. Well, no shame in trying. Oh ho, I spy something on the move. Another Robovac straight off its expected route. Can you say hacked? It just went into the tower through the back door, probably to launch another viral attack. Then we better launch an attack of our own. Right, catching up to it should give us a clue as to who's responsible for this. It's headed through the observation deck, onward and upward. You can see all of Calvert from here. Or all of Edith, rather. Here's the observation deck. Too bad we can't just kick our feet up. The Robovac should be past this door now. Door here. Looks like it went to the control room at the top of the stairs. Let's move in then. I've already received permission from security. Right. No. I was gonna say, sometimes you don't realize how big the city of Edith actually is because we only go to specific sections, but like they said, it's got a population of 850,000 people. Over there. I think it noticed us. We're blocking the only exit. There's nowhere to run. Shoot, it's gonna ram itself into the servers and corrupt the data. Not on my watch. You slashed out its legs faster than I could say holy moly. I barely even had time to blink. Less gawking, more investigating. The culprit is bound to have realized what happened by now. Got it. What the? I think we're out of luck. What? How? The hacking program's already started the auto-deletion process. And without better hardware, I won't have time to trace the signal back to the perp. At this rate, every last bit of data is going to get wiped. I was afraid of that. Oh, this sucks. Everything past this point is out of my depth. If Ren were her, she'd know what to do. We could send for more personnel and better equipment, but it'd be too little too late. We finally it's slipping right through our fingers.
どうやら困っているようね。
Professor Hamilton? What are all of you doing here? It was at Her Highness's suggestion, actually. You see, I was simply beside myself with curiosity after learning what you were up to. Your caller here suggested you found some sort of clue in how those cleaning robots were acting. And since the network outages you're investigating are taking place throughout the city, it stood to reason you would head to the control room of this tower where Edith's orbital traffic comes through. You act like it's no big deal, but that's some top-tier sleuthing here. In any event, it would seem we made the right choice in coming. Nadia, why don't you try hacking in from your end? Huh, but It'll be fine, dear. Go right ahead. What do I do now? It'll be tough going if you jump in unprepared. So allow me to lend you this. How adorable. What a peculiar shape. Where have I seen it before? While this avatar is borrowed, it contains hacking tools made specifically for orbital networking environments. It should be more than manageable for someone of your ability. Ooh, color me impressed. Okay, here is nothing. So we're gonna play a minigame. How far does it go? Does it just go in one big circle? I guess. Oh, nope, it comes this way. Oh no, I gotta get up here before it catches up. Okay. Alright. Alright, we made it. It seems. I guess there were multiple ways for you to get to the end. Got him. Mission complete. You managed to trace the signal back? All in a day's work for yours truly. Well, with Professor Hamilton's help. Though I couldn't have done without that cute little AV and its tools. Thanks a bunch, Prof. I'm just glad it worked out in the end. Now you know where the culprit is, right? Yep, there were several layers of dummy data to throw me off, but I made it through eventually. The coordinates of whoever's been hacking the Robovacs, and who's been messing with Edith's orbital network are right here. Where's here exactly? Appears to be just shy of the city's unofficial 13th district, otherwise known as the Blacklight District. Thinking back, this reminds me of something Zin mentioned. Supposedly, there's a desolate corner of the district where the air is so stagnant that even its residents rarely step foot inside. They call it the Condemned Sector. Ooh, spooky. That's fishy with a capital F. I mean, what better place to hole up if you're looking to get some evil doing done? We'll just have to go down there and see what we find. I'm afraid the rest of us won't be much help from here on. But I have faith that 3 of you will be able to handle things just fine. Take care, everyone. Be safe, okay? We will. Thank you again for your assistance. See you around, Toa. If you're staying in Edith, it's only a matter of time before we run into each other again. Sorry to interrupt. But would you mind if I accompanied you to this condemned sector? I don't think that's a good idea. But Sharid has told me much of this first-hand experience with Arkwright Solutions escapades. If you're substituting for them, it only follows that I should take the place of my brother. Would that not be the natural course of things? That's a pretty big stretch. Not to mention, when I see the 2 of you interact, it feels as if I'm among old friends. What I mean to say is you're the spitting image of the protagonist of my favorite book series. Your favorite book series? Yes, it follows a young assassin and a girl he calls his partner in their quest to defy fate. I highly recommend it. Well, I understand how you feel, Your Highness. I'm afraid I can't allow this. The Blacklight District is lawless as it is. Say nothing to this condemned sector. We have no way of predicting what dangers might be lying in wait down there. I thought as much. It's disappointing to be certain, but I won't protest any further. Even if I had a bodyguard, there's no denying I would only get in your way. Would that I could have borrowed Najee from my brother beforehand. Then it'd be a different story. Anyway, just leave it to us for now. We'll tell you about our deterring do next time we meet up, okay? I'll be waiting with bated breath. May Arusha's protection be with you. Well, there you have it. Hey, just popping by with an update from Marduk's support. Further analysis has revealed a new floor in the Martian Garden, so check it out when you get a chance, okay? May as well. Alright, so we're gonna end things off here. Oh, it does look like we have another 4 SPG to handle here, so next time we're gonna do 2 things. We're gonna handle the 4 SPG as well as do the next floor of the Martian Garden. Actually, I don't know, because I believe most of the floors of the Martian Garden don't have cutscenes tied to them. So, I think at least for the 3rd floor, I'll do it in a video, but I think moving forward, the ones that don't actually have anything, I will probably just do... Well, actually, no. Every first run of a Martian Garden floor we'll do on video. It's just the reruns I won't do. Because that is kind of... It's part of the game. So, yeah. So, we'll do all that next time. So, that's going to be it, guys. Hope you all enjoyed. Don't forget to subscribe if you're new to the channel. I'll see you all next time. Have a wonderful day, everyone.